I believe that I was constantly searching for love. Everything I did was a search for love. And then when I didn't get it, it was really painful, very painful.
A best-selling author and management consultant, Ichak Adizes.
Dr. Ichak Adizes.
Mr. Adizes.
Dr. Ichak Adizes.
What's the hardest thing, emotionally or spiritually, at this phase, this chapter of your life?
I'm at the age of my father when he died. So am I spending it, am I wasting it, or am I using it? I have a fear that I will not accomplish everything before I die. That is what bothers me, that scares me.
20 years from now, when people look back and they read your books or see the videos and try to know who Dr. Adizes was and his methodology, what do you think they need to know to really understand who you are? He is an award-winning management consultant, academic, and author, founder of the Adizes Institute, and creator of a method for leading organizational change without conflict, Dr. Ichak Adizes. Hi, I'm Topaz Adizes. I'm the founder of the Emmy Award-winning series, The End. The End has been an incredible journey for the last 12 years. We've brought in over 1,250 pairs to have incredible conversations. And I've learned a lot. Through this work, I've had the privilege of witnessing the bold, the beautiful, and the heart-wrenching, the conversations that reveal us. I've watched, I've listened, I've learned, and now I'm ready to share. David S. Viscott has a great quote that always inspires me. The purpose of life is to find your gift. The work of life is to develop your gift. And the meaning of life is to give it away. And what I've seen from my 48 years on this planet, through incredible experiences, is that life shapes us. Things happen to us and we interpret those things, and that shapes us into offerings we can offer others. So the expedition that I'm embarking upon, that I'm inviting you to join, is a journey of conversations. I'm going to speak to people that I find incredible. I'm going to be asking them questions that reveal their life's journey. What are the hidden gifts and challenges and offerings that they have? And on this journey, we will uncover the message the universe has written into your life, for yourself and for others. Are you listening to what your life is telling you? I don't know where we'll go. I'm just going to be very transparent about it. And that's why I welcome you to this journey that we're calling Getting Under the Skin, or Guts for short. Thank you. And let's see where we go. Hey friends, welcome to another episode of Getting Under the Skin. This is episode 4. And for this one, I'm bringing you a special guest because it's my dad. Well, he raised me, obviously along with my mom, but he's had a huge impact on my life. I wanted to bring him in early because, well, he's 87, and I wanted to make sure I could get a chance to chat with him because you never know. And my dad's a really exceptional character, in my opinion, exceptional soul. In 1937, he was born in Macedonia. He hid in Albania, posing as a Muslim, hiding from the fascists and the Nazis. You know, in March 11, 1943, Bulgarians collected all the 7,300 Jews that lived in Macedonia. In 3 weeks, in 3 train loads, they shipped them off to Treblinka. And of the 7,300, only 169 survived. And my family were 9 of those 169. And our family survived because Ali and Rajib, in a small village in Skodra, Albania, hid our family, where we posed as Muslims for 1.5 years until the war was over. And after that, my father went to Israel and he studied, and he then went to Columbia, University of Columbia, to get his graduate degree in business. And then he ended up teaching in UCLA, School of Business. He created a methodology of organizational change. And then he went on his own way. He's 87. He's lived an expansive life. He's in the professional world. He's an organizational guru. A lot of what you see now in terms of changing the culture of an organization, my dad's been saying that since the 80s. So it's a real honor that I have a chance to jump in with him. But beyond what he did as a professional career, I just wanted to chat with him as soul to soul to see what his thoughts were. And I did The End because I figured so many people showed their courage and vulnerability in their relationships, and I should do the same. So I did it with my father on the end. You could check him out there in the links below. I learned a lot from watching those The End conversations. I learned a lot about how I listen to my dad, how I interact with him and how I listen to him and how I respond, how open my heart is. And so I did the same thing here too. I love my father. Relationships are complicated. And I noticed that the Topaz listening is not, it doesn't seem like he's listening with an open heart. I'm talking in the third person now. And I find that interesting. There's powerful, beautiful things to be said. And I wanted to probe my dad to get a little more personal because I find that he stays behind concept and he's great with theory, but to actually have the feeling and be in that space is quite vulnerable for him. And so I wanted to push that in this conversation and to keep us guided there. And just keep in mind, a lot of the things you're going to hear, I hear all the time. So I'm trying to hear something new. So if you're wondering why there's a tension there, it's probably because of that. But then again, you'll pick up your own interpretation of what it is. One thing for sure is that I appreciate my time with him, my dad, my father. He's taught me a lot. And I always do wish I could be softer. I'm working on that. And so, without further ado, here's the episode with my dad, Dr. Ichak Adizes. All right. Well, thanks for joining, Pop. Thanks for jumping in on your birthday. You know, the idea of this podcast is really to explore lifelines. The idea is maybe life has designed us for something. So let me ask you a question. What do you think life has designed you for? And what have you seen or experienced that makes you think that?
That's a very deep question, son. I think that we all have a purpose in life why we came to this world. But not all of us listen.
But I'm talking about you. I would like to know about you.
Well,
not a big theory of life, about you.
I was brought to this world, I think, to communicate. To communicate what I see, what I observe, what I know, what I learn. And this is helping a lot of people. Today on my birthday, I got many, wishes. And many people claim that I've improved their life. I changed their life. I made a difference in their life. And apparently that is what my life is about, to do that. And now the question is, how do I do that? And that's what you ask me. How do I know that I'm living up to my purpose? Is I came to the conclusion that really I did not create anything. What I did was I listen. I hear very well. In other words, when you stop thinking, the messages come to you clean. So I get clean messages, insights. We call them insights. I get clear insights by just relaxing and observing without fear what's going on and being capable of connecting dots. And usually it comes very enriching to people that listen. So apparently that's what I'm here for.
Do you think you were born that way, or that certain things happened in your life that shaped you for that?
I think it's a combination of the two. Because I didn't have the predisposition in my personality to listen and to be careful, something like that. Probably life would not be impacting me so much. But what I went through life, plus my genetics, I think together made me who I am.
Has what you feel life is designed you for changed over time? You're now 87. Today's your 87th birthday. Was this the case when you were 48, when you were my age? Was that the case?
It definitely changed. I did not realize why I'm here on this earth 40 years ago. I was just working hard, trying to make a career, responding to people's needs. I was working. I didn't have time to look at what I'm doing. Now I think at the end of my life, I said, wait a moment, what was my life all about? I'm having the insight which I didn't have before.
Dad, if we went back to meet the 48-year-old version of you,
the same age that I am now, what do you think I would be surprised to see?
I believe that I was not a very sensitive guy. As a matter of fact, I know I was insensitive. I could not feel. I could not feel people. I could not feel you. I could not feel my wife. I could not feel, period. I was scared of feeling. And I know why, and you know why, because of the Second World War. I was afraid to feel. I will collapse or probably fall apart. And at the 48, I would say, I look back some relationship I had with people and I feel guilty because I really was an asshole. The way I treated Aurelio Flores, oh my God, I really, if I regret anything is that I was not a sensitive guy. I was just building the methodology, and that's the only thing that counted. And by being insensitive, I could not build the institute because people would leave me. Nobody stayed long enough. So today is different. Today is different. I'm definitely different. I could feel, I could relate more to people. I'm not as happy, because now that I feel, I get miserable much easier. But that is a difference.
But tell me more about that. So now that you feel, you're less happy? Before, when you didn't feel as much, you were happier?
Because you see, now I look for love. I look for relationships. I look for depth of feelings. At that time, I did not. So I was going through life like a zombie. And now I can easily get hurt because I feel.
But that version of you that went through life like a zombie, focused on the methodology of building a business, built you this success.
I know, yeah, it did.
Is that the success that you stand on, why you get 150 notes on your birthday for your saying that you created a work that changed your life, or is that something different? Now that you feel, you're a little less happy because you're looking for love, you're looking for deep relationships. But if you didn't build a methodology and create that much contribution to others because you were not feeling others, you're so focused on the methodology, do you think you would still be able to achieve what you have achieved? Could you have achieved what you achieved with feeling? Because that is what you're telling the world now, is to not to think, but to go to the heart.
It is like working with tools. I was using only 50% of the tools available. And if I was feeling more, probably today it would be a totally different company, much bigger and with a lot of people. But I lost a lot of good people along the way because I didn't know how to relate to them. I could not even pay attention to their needs. I was blind to their needs. I almost feel guilty, when I look back. I feel guilty with Aurelio Flores. He had 7 children, and I refused to let him go and work for the client for $500, take it to his own pocket because it was against the rules of the institute. I mean, what the hell are you talking about? I was not reasonable. I was not looking at people. I was rules and how it should be, and that's it. I was very insensitive. I mean, I look back and I said, wow. But that's what it is.
When was the moment you had a cathartic moment that gave you that perspective and you decided to change and start feeling more?
I think it is when I had that death experience, and when I was giving all this injection to quote unquote die, and by not being able to move, not being able to talk, I started feeling.
You're talking about when you work with the shaman.
Yeah, right.
And you took equivalent to like Bufo.
Yeah, it was the first time that I started feeling. I I felt the shaman, which we never did before. And then when the 1 hour was over, I was weeping. Oh my God, I was weeping.
It felt like a death experience for you.
I was weeping. I realized the importance of love.
You want to tell more about that?
I was weeping and I was saying, "It's all I need is love. All I need is love." That's when I opened my heart. I admitted it that all I need love. Up to that point, I was negating love. I really, really negating love. I didn't believe love exists. I said, "You guys are crazy. There is no love. Love is a fata morgana."
When did you stop believing in love, or do you think you were born that way? Like, when do you think? Do you think you were born that way, or do you think you believed in love, then something happened and you stopped believing in love?
Oh, look, when things happen, you're not aware of them. They just happen. But I believe, because by writing my book, The Accordion Player, which is my autobiography, it was very psychotherapeutic writing that book. Because many things I could look back and analyze them and think about them and try to summarize them and express them. So it opened my eyes. I believe, I closed my heart to loving when they took my grandparents away to Treblinka, when they closed the train and they left. Because they were the one that I loved the most. I mean, they were the one that I felt so close to. I mean, I was loved by them and I loved them. The Calderon family, very heartwarming, loving people, and they disappeared from my life. And I think probably that's it. That's when it started. And then I was not getting much love from my father. So I didn't experience love. I was getting it from my mother, but she did not show it because it's not part of our culture to exhibit it. I know she loved me, that's no question about it. But she didn't exhibit it. So I did not experience it, let's put it that way.
How old were you when you saw you're talking about your maternal parents put on the train to Treblinka? You remember?
I was, March 43. That will be 5.5 years old.
And do you remember that still now? Do you have a visual?
I'm clear like I talk to you now. Very clear. I saw them being put on the train. I remember everything.
And you knew you'd never see them again at that point, do you think?
I didn't know that. On the opposite, for years, I was hoping that they will, show up. For years. Because for years I didn't know what happened to them. And then the Museum of the Holocaust in Jerusalem disclosed to us what happened to the Jews of Macedonia. And then I knew it was over. But I was still hoping that somehow they escaped. I did not give up. I did not give up. Sometimes even now I said, something will happen, somebody will show up.
What about the love from your father? Do you think he loved you?
I think so. But he would not allow himself to show it. But the Minister of Science, my good friend of mine, Matic, told me that his father told him, "Stop kissing your children, you're spoiling them. If you want to kiss them, wait until they go to sleep. Then kiss them in their sleep so they don't know you're kissing them." You're supposed to have tough children, show too much love, they become kind of a sissies.
I had an illumination this weekend. We went to the beach on Sunday, and I was very reactive to having sand in the food because we take a picnic to the beach, and sometimes sand gets in the food, whether it's chips or it's hummus or carrots or a sandwich, and the sand gets into the food, and you find the grains of sand in your teeth. And then I realized that sometimes I have these dreams where I'm eating glass, and it's horrible. And then I realized what Savamoni used to tell you all the time. And I wonder if that fear or that memory is like, if I carry that, just epigenetically. So my question to you is, which makes me think, what do you think you've passed on to your children? So that illumination brought this question, which is, what have you passed on to your children that you wish you hadn't?
And similarly, what have you passed on to your children that you're very happy you did?
What I passed to my children that I'm unhappy about, but I was not aware that I was doing it. I was just being myself. And now if I live my life all over again, that will be the thing I will correct. My mother told me always to accept life as it is, which means to accept bad things in life. Things that give me pain, just take the pain and keep going. Take the pain and keep going. Life is shit. Life is a bitch and then you die. Not rather than, hey, if I don't like it, no good, change, do something which is good. That was not me. And I'm glad I did not transfer that to you guys. I'm really, really happy I did not, because you look for what's good for you, and if it's not good for you, you move on, which is not what I did. So thanks God I did not pass that to you guys. I'm happy that I passed to you passion. Passion to work, passion to what you do. Do what you love, and only what you love, and with a passion, with all your heart. And all of you are like that. Topaz, you're like that. So I'm very happy with that. You're really, you're not average. You're dedicated. You have a passion. You believe in something, and you go for it. You guys have very strong values. There's another value that proud that I think I transferred to you guys. What I don't feel good, but it's not my fault, I think. I did not transfer to you the strength of commitment to the Jewish people, to your roots, to your past. It is there, but it's very superficial. Like I'm superficial with that. So I'm superficial, made you more superficial. By the time he gets to Cosmos, he's only going to remember that he had a grandfather Jewish, but I don't think it's going to really. So I feel bad about it. That's one of the things that I feel bad, because I admire the Jewish people. I admire our culture. I admire our wisdom. I admire our history, how we survived and we kept going for 2,000 years. And I would hate to be the last one in the chain, the guy who broke the chain. Well, but that's what it is. That's what it is.
What's the hardest thing for you, Dad, being this age? And I'm not talking about physical things. What's the hardest thing emotionally or spiritually at this phase, this chapter of your life? And particularly anything that surprises you.
I'm going through a menopause, and no question about it. I have a fear, which is normal, that I will not accomplish everything I should accomplish and qualified to accomplish before I die. That is what bothers me, that scares me. I will not finish my. There's so many books I want to write. There's so many books I want to read. Many books I want to read. Many books I want to write. And time is getting short. And now do I put it with my grandchildren? Do I put it with my wife that she wants to go now traveling the world? Like all her friends are traveling. When they retire, everybody's traveling, And she says, all my friends are traveling and I'm stuck in the house. And I said, I'm not excited to go to Antarctica. I'm not excited to go traveling anywhere. I'm excited to sit down and write. And so I hope I will be able to hold off. And if she wants to travel, let her travel with her friends alone. Because my fear is that I'm going to die and not finish to say what I have to say. And I believe that I have something to say. It's valuable. It's not an ego trip, another bullshit. Whenever I discuss my ideas with people, what I want to write, they say you must write it. It's really valuable. It's really contributing. It's, so anyway, that's my fear and my age. I don't have fears about my children, my grandchildren. I think they're all fine. Everybody's settled.
But the question is, are you experiencing anything that you didn't expect to face at this age? Like, I'm sure when you were 50, I'm sure you thought, well, I don't have enough time because you've written 30 books or whatnot and done the work. Is there anything now that you're contending with?
In the past, I did not feel this pressure of, oh my God, time is getting short and I'm going to die before I have a chance. No, I felt that all the time in the world. It's now, well, look, my father died 86. So I'm already, or 87. So I'm there. You know? So that is, I think, what woke me up. You said, oops, I'm at the age of my father when he died. So now every day is a bonus. So am I spending it? Am I wasting it, or am I using it? So that is what's crossing my mind. How am I using my time? Topaz, look, at most, even if I don't die at the age of 90, I live to be 100. But the last 10 years are not productive. You know, that's it. You know, you get to the stage. By the way, I'm very productive for my age. Many people say you're still writing books at the age of 87, still consulting at the age of 87. You know, at the 87 people are already half boo-boo. You know, they're not together. So I'm still productive. How much is 3 years? Topaz, it's 1,000 days. 1,000 days, Topaz. What is 1,000 days? That's why I started getting those clocks, what do they call, the scent clocks, to show me how life is going. You know, life is going.
Who got you on that idea, Dad?
You did. Life is going, my friend. Life is going, and I've only 1,000 days. 1,000 days. You know, scared. When I think about it, I get scared. Yesterday we were. Where were we yesterday? At Emilia and Jorge Nieto. You know, the guys in Mexico. Mm-hmm. And we were talking. They're in a new apartment. So I asked them, "How long have you been in this new apartment?" 4 years. So wait a moment. But I was with you only last year in the old apartment. Said, no, Ichak. You were in our old apartment 5 years ago. And I was shocked. So in other words, if 5 years ago feels like yesterday, 3 years from now will feel like tomorrow, cabron. I'm going to die tomorrow. And that's scary. That's what I feel scary. I need to write. And not because an ego trip. This is really a very interesting experience to pass. It is burning in my stomach. I have to say it. I have something, I have to share it. I have to share it. It is like, I don't know, I don't want to be egotistical to say, God, you know, I'm a messenger, you know, for God's message. But I feel I have something to say, and it will be a crime if I don't say it. And time is getting short.
You know, one thought I've been having the last 6 months, or a realization I've had for myself, is that the things you find obvious that others don't is actually where you provide the most value. And for a lot of my 20s and 30s, there are things that to me were obvious, and I assumed they were obvious to everyone else. So I didn't really share them, because why am I stating the obvious? And only in the last few years am I realizing that actually what I find obvious is not what everyone else finds obvious. So there is a lot of humility that I was raised in. So don't state the obvious, don't show up. But now I realize actually what is so obvious to me is not obvious to everyone else. And there's even more of a reason to share. And so I feel when you say you need to write, and that you get, you know, you feel like you listen and you get some messages from what, you know, from whatever we want to call it, is that you have a unique point of view that is obvious to you and it's not obvious to others, and you want to make it obvious to others because you think there's value there. And you've got that feedback loop. You've seen over the last 40, 50 years of your work that what you're doing has positive impact on other people's lives.
It's interesting what you say. Why am I under pressure to share what is so obvious to me?
Mm-hmm.
It is like helping people that are confused, to show them where the right road is. You know, to me it's very clear. Here it is. And they are wandering around. So it is like helping people, just helping people. Now, many people believe that I'm an ego trip. I do that because I want recognition and my ego, to show them that I'm smarter than they are. None of that whatsoever, Topaz. I don't care about that at all. It is, I see something is white and you think it's blue, so I tell you, no, it's white. Let me explain to you why. So it is like, I'm supposed to how can I shut up, And you're absolutely right. Many people, even my teacher used to say that I have this strength, which is very unusual, that I can take complicated things and make them simple. I see the simplicity of it. I see the dots, how they connect. And most people don't. They get confused. And I think the reason I can do that, because this came to me as an insight yesterday. I was talking to my associates in Guadalajara. They put in the office all kinds of posters for my methodology, and I told them, you're missing the most important one. I said, what is the most important one? Those three circles I have: is, want, should. Most people start with the want and should, not with the is. And I start with the is. And I'm able to see what is going on because I don't have a want. I don't have a want. By the way, I don't know whether you know, but maybe it doesn't come clear enough in my book. My father would not allow me to want. Anytime I wanted, boy, oh boy, oh boy, he will punish me so that I don't want. I could not want, a cake. No, you cannot want. Don't go for want. So I want a certain girl. If I wanted the girl, I would run away from her because she was dangerous. What was dangerous to want? And I don't have a should. Why I don't have a should? Because I changed so many countries, so many cultures, so many languages, that what is should? What is should? So I live in the is world. And that is what makes it so simple. When you remove the want and should, what is obvious. It just looks at you.
But what's interesting is that superpower of seeing things as is was actually beaten into you by your father, who didn't allow you to have a want or a should.
That's right.
So in that sense, it kind of comes back to our first question of what do you think life designed you for? And in the sense that it's not what you are born for, because it seems like that's innate. It's more like, right, what did life shape you into? And one
right,
obviously big influence we both know is your father. And he didn't let you want. And you couldn't have a should because you were moving all the time and you had a lot of fear in your system. And so you saw things as is, but you've converted that into a superpower that you can then offer to other people.
Very interesting. I don't think I got much attention from my father. He didn't know which class I was, what grade I was, whether I was a good student, bad student. He let me be. I was on my own. Well, anyways, he was a victim himself. I should not be so very hard against him. He was a victim himself, the poor guy. He had dyslexia. At that time, nobody knew anything about dyslexia. He was put down by his father, by his brother, by the whole family, because he could not read and write because of dyslexia. So he was abused. He himself was abused. And then he married somebody or upper class than himself. She was, very well read, my mother was. So the poor guy was lost. So he needed somebody to be under him because he was at the bottom. It was me.
Hey, Bob, look what I have here.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
So, Pop, 20 years from now, or people look back and they read your books or see the videos and try to know who Dr. Adizes was and his methodology, not the methodology, but what do you think they really need to know about you to know who you are? In 20, 30 years, when they look back and they're trying to really understand who Dr. Adizes was, what do you think they need to know to really understand who you are?
That's a very good question. I mean, I kind of an enigma, I don't know. People hold me in a very high esteem, and I don't hold myself at the same level of esteem. I don't, I'm an ordinary guy that just dares to speak what he thinks, and that's it. I mean, I'm like a painter. Wow, he paints so beautifully. I don't think I'm painting beautifully. I'm just painting, I'm not even trying. It just comes to me naturally without even trying. So, I don't know. They're probably going to say about me, nice guy, smart guy, and...
No, but I'm saying, let's say in 30 years they're making a movie about you.
Yeah.
And the director is talking to the actor that's playing you. And the actor is saying, I really just want to have a clear view of how I'm going to play this character. What should the director tell that actor?
I will tell you what it is, in my judgment. He was a poor soul, all his life looking for love. Everything I did was try to get love. That's what I think. Why am I so successful when I lecture? I'm such a great speaker. I die to get love from the audience. I do everything I possible. I give everything I have to the audience to be loved back. Why did they make all the lights? I want to see the audience when I speak. Not the light on me, the light on the audience. I look at them. I give everything I have. I give everything I have, really, to the point of being self-destructive. Same thing with clients. I was working yesterday I came back from Mexico. I was working with this client, Topaz. It was such a complicated problem I had to solve. Really complicated. I mean, squeezed my bloody brain. I was fighting to solve the problem, not him. He says, don't worry about it, it's fine. I said, no. I have to, I'm dedicated to do it, to help, to do it right, and to contribute, basically to be loved. I believe that I was constantly searching for love. Everything I did was the search for love. And then when I didn't get it, it was really painful. Very painful. But I think all my books I write is searching for love. I believe that's what it is. I give and I search to get it. In an abnormal way. I think it's abnormal. My need for love is abnormal. Travel all over the world, was traveling all over the world, lecturing, consulting, helping companies, rather than staying home and loving my children and my wife. I was all the time looking out there. So I was looking for love all over the world, 52 countries, lecturing all over the world, consulting all over the world. And I got love. I think I'm loved all over the world. I am loved. But I was miserable. It was a miserable search for running, trying to get it.
You think you have it now?
Yeah. I was just telling Nurit that finally, I think at the age of 87, I can acknowledge that I'm loved. In the past, I would not.
Is it acknowledging it or feeling it and accepting it?
Feeling it, acknowledging, feeling it, I know it's real. In the past, I will block it, like it cannot be true. Me, whom do you love? Who is it that you love, And now I'm okay. I'm really okay with it.
How do you feel that your children are the continuation of you? In what ways do you see that or not see that? And how does it make you feel?
I'm very happy with my children. Very, 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 very happy. None of you are chasing money, chasing women, chasing drugs. You're real. And you're really continuation of me in the sense of that you want to make a better world. You want to make a better world. You're working on something which is very important. Intimacy in the modern world, where intimacy is going to hell, with all the technology. And you're trying to fight that. So I'm very happy with my children. They're not wasting time.
But the question is, how do you feel they're the continuation of you?
They're a continuation of me because they continue to improve the world differently. But they try to improve the world. Tikkun olam. they're a continuation of me by doing that, improving the world.
Dad, you have a beautiful motto that you say that I think is gorgeous. You say, speak without offending, listen without defending, live without pretending, and love without depending. How do you feel you've done in each of those categories?
Not very well. That's why I had it as my motto to live up. I don't speak without offending because I'm very opinionated, and then I raise my voice and I get upset. So I'm not doing very well. Listen without defending, even worse. I will start defending my point because I'm afraid that people don't hear me very well. But I'm okay, live without pretending. That I think I live up to. I don't pretend at all. And, love without depending, I fail totally. So in other words, that I don't depend on your love. I'm okay. I love myself enough. Well, that's not me. I am constantly looking. So this is the motto. That's what I'm struggling for.
Beautiful. I love it. I love it. And yeah, I love it. I want to go back to the original question about what do you think life has designed you for? And what have you seen or experienced that makes you think?
Designed me for?
Yeah. And I don't mean, like, what I mean by that is, it's not that you're born to something. It's kind of like...
No, life shaped me. Life shaped me to do something. It is to make a better world. Tikkun olam.
And what have you seen or experienced that makes you think that's what it's for? That's what the life designed you for?
You know the story about Rotisho, which is the one, anytime I start wondering, what am I doing? I remember him, so I keep going.
I don't know that story.
The guy was for a company in Atlanta, vice president, and he was dying from cancer. He was having 6 months to live. But he decided he doesn't want to sit at home, wait for death. He was going to continue working till his last day. So I was doing work with the company, and at the end of it, I was going to go to the airport, and he said to me, Dr. Adizes, I want to drive you to the airport. Now here's a guy who's going to die in 6 months. Why the hell is he wasting his time driving me to the airport? So I said, come on, Rotisho, don't worry about it. I can take a taxi. Don't, please don't. And he said, no, I insist, okay? If you insist, dying man's last wishes. So while we're driving to the airport, I asked him, why are you driving me to the airport? He said, Dr. Adizes, I worked for this company for 30 years. I tried to make changes for 30 years and didn't succeed. Before I die, you're making all the changes I wanted to do. I pray for you in church. I was shocked. Here is a guy dying from cancer, and he's praying for me in church. And he's not the only one. I get a lot of people that say they pray for me, that I will live long enough because I made such differences in their life. And what I'm doing, just today, right now, I got somebody for my birthday said, we are blessed that you were born. I mean, they put me on a pedestal, which sometimes I don't allow myself the peace to go into my head. I don't allow myself. But the people really value what they do. So I have a responsibility to do it.
Thanks. Is there anything else that's come up or you want to talk about? Or
I'm just in love with your office.
You like the office?
Beautiful. Yeah. Is that your office at home or is it in the office?
No, that's my office.
This is beautiful.
Well, I got at this, and then the idea is to do these kind of conversations with people.
Congratulations, Topaz.
Yeah.
Congratulations, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
beautiful.
but I'm in early stages of the podcast, so I appreciate you taking the time to be on and have a conversation. I'm trying to find where my value is, where the value is of adding on.
Well, you're very smart. You know what questions to ask. You're very sensitive. You will succeed, son. You will succeed. I'm proud of you. Really, seriously. Okay, Chuku, let me go and have my breakfast.
All right, Papa. Thank you so much. Guts is a Skin Deep media production. The show is produced by Sundus Hassan Noli, video by Dane Montezan, with editorial support from Ants Cabral and executive produced by me, Topaz Adizes. Special thanks to all the guests who showed guts, without whom there will be no getting under the skin. Interested in joining our community and following this journey?
Visit guts.podcast on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. And check out our website, theskindeep.com, for in-depth conversation card games that create the space for connection, intimacy, and deeper conversation. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Until next time, keep having the guts to get under the skin.